Hello.
Are we live?
We're
Are we
live. Yeah.
Oh, don't show it. Don't show it right now.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. What's up, everybody? Welcome on in to another podcast, number 26. I forgot to put that in the title.
26. That's halfway.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway to what?
That's 6 months.
Really?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, wow.
It is 6 months. Yes, it is. It's half the year. We've been doing this for half a year now.
That's weird, guys.
And it's Profanity's favorite number.
What? Double awesome. Guys, welcome on in. We're here with Spooo and StandardDamage, our community managers for Marbles on Stream. This is the Marbles and Streaming podcast where we talk marbles and streaming.
Whoa.
Today's topic, we have the new energy breakdown. It's not 100%, but it's a good gauge of what it's going to be. So we're happy to discuss the energy system and anything else you guys want to discuss about, the upcoming season or anything really. What streaming and marbles?
Yeah.
I'm excited for the new season.
I am too. The team, everybody's kind of like really put in a lot of work into the season, and the contents I'm really excited about. I'm really excited to see what people do. Yesterday I was doing a bunch of track builder stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming for the track building community too.
Yeah, I might even jump into the track builder.
You might even jump in the track builder? I lost my words. I didn't even know how to speak.
I'm going to dump into that thing.
Might even. Oh my God.
I need to get the
Yeah, we'll
questions
see.
No, it's gonna be with what like just bringing up the track builder, like with what people have been coming up with lately, this whole new wave of creativity that we've been seeing. What are they gonna do with the next new set of pieces and all that too? It's yeah. I'm very excited to see. Very excited to see what's coming up.
Yeah, Hedry, you'd be the guy I'd go to. Just depends on time.
I will confirm, by the way, that Hedry is an amazing teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to throw that out there, that Hedry is an absolutely amazing teacher.
Just in general, not even with building. Whatever knowledge he has, he's good at teaching it.
Yeah, he did a stream the other day, and it was like just the way like he explains everything. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Can we make Pachinko a full-time thing when we can't find any streams to join? What do you even mean? It's run by the Unknown Marbler in his channel, so you just have to like accept the way he does things, because he's a little bit crazy. But yeah, if you guys want to see you guys won't see the breakdown. How could we see the breakdown? We can't.
You can pull it over my face. Or I could read it out.
Hold on, I might be able to pull it over your face.
We could do it. We could read it out ASMR style.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Okay, here we go.
Tier 1, 2 races, energy return of 2, 1 XP.
It's on my face.
It's a little bit on Jamie's face too. Okay, we'll go quick.
It's all right.
So like the first set is the first 20 races, and we have 2 energy returns every 2 races for the first 20 races. Okay, and then the next batch is races 24 to 100. It's tiers of 4, and then you're gonna get one XP per reward, and then the return will be 1 for 1. And then same thing goes for the 108 to 156. Those are 8 tiers, and then you get 8 energy returns. So there's no positive return, there's no positive returns, just 1 for 1. So that's what it's going to be next season, as of right now. It might have slight changes.
As of right now.
Yeah, that's where we're
Not
headed.
set in stone.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it play out. I think, we've talked about it before, but like the tight energy tiers where you're not worrying about going all the way to 35 or 15 or even 10. And you're trying to just like taper off your stream, or even you're just trying to like finish off your races because you have to go pick up your kids from school or whatever, who knows. So yeah, so we're trying to like tighten that up, make things a little bit more friendly for everybody, and then more fun. And it's also more aggressive, right? Because there's no positive now, so it's not like you can go somewhere and rebuild up to a certain point.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And there's going to be, it goes back, there's going to be, in terms of like keeping track of it, there's going to be onus on the racers, the grinders, all that. And there's going to be not as much onus on the streamers now, because the point that's been made over and over again, for most of us, we'll stay in tiers of 4, basically of 4 races. So you get to your last 4 races and you just start calling out, okay, guys, this is the last 4. And you don't have to worry about people getting stuck, or losing energy along the way that way. I mean, I like it. I like the new system a lot.
Definitely. It'll be interesting to see without the bonus energy. But
Yeah.
I think with the the closer tier system, it's like it's a balance. It just balances it, Like with the past tiers, you had to wait, or you had to do a lot of races or whatever to get the bonus tiers or the bonus energy.
Yeah.
And it was more of an investment. This is a lot less of an investment, and so you should be getting your energy back pretty easy.
Mhm.
Are you guys, is everything lagging or something, guys? Are we lagging? I'm just reading some comments. It's like,
Not from what I see.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
see any lag, but if you guys are lagging,
No, I think we're all right.
okay. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the video is a bit out of sync with the audio of Spooo and Jamie.
Huh.
I'd have to go back and watch the VOD.
I don't think it's your fault. I think it's me.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully it's not too bad, guys. We'll address it for next time.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and it's with both of us, Dr. Stomp, not just one of us or the other.
Yeah, so that makes sense because you guys are being passed
Okay.
through the.
Pass through Discord and then through the stream. Yeah.
Hmm.
Indeed.
Pixel's
okay.
a time traveler.
With what amount of energy do we start per day? Looking at 20. You're going to start with 20 energy per day. And it'll reset to 20 every day, and it's up to you to manage it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
20 energy.
Yeah.
Do you think there's interesting.
Yeah, so it's a lot tighter, right? And
Very tight.
If you want to scale up, like if you're going to go the long way, you're going to have to pull back on how many of the racing streams you're in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Tilted's not going to get any changes for next season. I already went through that. Not getting any like framework changes. It might get visual changes and design, but I don't think we'll have any like point system changes for it yet.
Mm.
It'll be an absolute adjustment. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Llama King says you're gonna have a lot of small streamers lose viewers and players and viewers because grinders are gonna play on 1 or 2 streams rather than 4 or 5 streams. Just my opinion. I think you're gonna have a lot less.
You've already lost them.
Yeah. I think with the amount, like the way the viewer count works on Twitch, right? If you're in a whole bunch of streams anyway, all these grinders, they're not really counting as viewers anyway. Some of them might, depending on how many they're in. The less streams that they can be in, the more they're going to count as a viewer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of the reasoning behind a lot of Pixel's decisions with energy, is to try to make it work with the platform that we're on so that people do count as viewers.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was going to say, Darcy just made a great point there. The grinders weren't really counting as viewers in the current system anyway, which is very true. By the time you got to the point where you had 10 streams open racing, and yes, that is going on out there. I know I've talked with the grinders about it before. A lot of views aren't counting at that point anyway. If you're watching in from an outside system, same thing.
Yeah.
Those views aren't counting anyway. So I don't know. Like, one of my first thoughts, Llama King, admittedly, like when we first started talking about this new energy system, is it, and it's not, it wouldn't just be a small shakeup for the smaller streamers, it's going to be a shakeup for everybody, because anything that affects viewer numbers, you know, anything that affects the number of streams that an individual is in can have that effect. But the more we thought about it, the more I'm like, you know what? I don't know if it's going to have as big of an effect as everybody thinks it is, because again, a lot of those views aren't counting anyway. You know, it's not, there's a reason why a lot of us just turn the viewer counts off, because it's like we're looking at who's actually there with us by looking at marbles in the race, and we're able to see who our lurkers are, things like that. But
chat, right?
yeah, exactly. And there are times, by the way, Llama King, I'm going to just throw this out there, that I've actually had people talking to me, and I don't believe, because they've had so many tabs open, even though they're present with me, I don't believe they're actually being counted in my numbers.
Yeah.
Because they're in so many other races at that point. So
yeah.
Well, I noticed times there's like, I don't even count as a viewer, and I have 3 streams open, like 2 streams and like one. So like I usually keep like 2 Marble streams open during the day when I'm working.
yeah.
And then I'll actually also keep like a Call of Duty stream up or something, just watching. And a lot of time, if I'm in a smaller stream, I don't see the viewer number fluctuate when I'm joining. And it's just interesting. So like even not as a grinder, just somebody who's just.
And it's not like people aren't there, you know? People are there. It's not like they're not listening or not participating, or.
It's like one of the biggest reasons.
That's why the viewer count. It's like,
yeah.
I've stopped looking at it, other than after streams and stats, not while I'm streaming, you know?
Yeah.
You can look at where it is afterwards and stuff like that, but it just messes with me too much.
Yeah.
Focus on who's there.
Yeah. It goes back to that whole conversation we had before about, you know, just because the viewer count isn't there doesn't mean they're not there with you.
Right.
Talking to you, interacting with you. That doesn't mean that they're not there. They're definitely there, you know? So
it's like I've fully turned every viewer count off on my system as best as I can, other than what's forced, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you watch some streams, like the amount it fluctuate is crazy. Like you could see it rolls now. The number rolls up and down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's like
a massive
like,
distraction.
And it's like, whoa, like that's a big shift. And I think this is a component of it too. Not even marbles. Like I think this goes beyond marbles. Is that Twitch is growing, and we're seeing a lot more diverse content on the platform. So I think we're just constantly going to see more and more people having multiple streams open. And if you're only counting as a viewer in 1 or 2 places, then like how's that going to impact the platform, right? And individual channels, and mostly when those channels sometimes are thinking about the viewership and going, well, I don't have that many viewers, but you know, my chat's having a good time and everything. And I think that's like why you need to focus on the chat and the people that are there with you and having a good time.
Yeah. Something that I found is actually really fun now that I have all my viewer stuff turned off and I'm not looking at viewer counts and all that, is I'm really excited to see what it was like after the fact. Like when I go into my statistics and when I get the email from Twitch saying, this is what your viewer counts were, things like that. But it's so good. I'm a real big believer in anything that eliminates a distraction, and getting the viewer count turned off everywhere, it eliminated such a massive distraction.
Right.
Like it's been another one of those game changers. There's one screen that I keep open that has the viewer count on it just in case, because sometimes it can be an indicator of like trouble that's happening in your stream. So you need to be able to pull it up on the fly. There's one screen I have that has it on it, but I have to manually pull it up. It's not part of what's in front of me when I'm streaming, you know, and that's there just as a security precaution. But as far as like being able to see it, I don't look at it pretty much the entire stream. Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been awesome.
It's such a big weight off your mind.
Yeah, it is.
And your mind can be other places while you're streaming. Till, you know, like if you're sitting there thinking about your viewer count while you're streaming, it's not good content, right? Like you're just clouding your brain so you can't do other things.
Twitch still hammers the numbers down your throat. Yeah. Well, I mean, like they're gonna always try to provide you as much, what do you call it, analytics as they can, right? Because in the end, analytics help you grow and change. It's just really about the live data that you got to be careful about what you're consuming. because like Spooo said, it's in your mind, and that's affecting your live state and what you're thinking about on the fly. And if you're constantly thinking about like the analytics of your stream while you're streaming, that's brain power that's not going towards the entertainment that you're providing or whatever you're putting your energy into during the stream, right?
Yeah.
It even plays into the, like, when we're doing the podcast and we're like reading chat more, right? The conversation often tends to like dwindle a little bit, as opposed to like when we're just engaging each other, you get a more full conversation. That's because we're trying to engage the chat and welcome them into our conversation, right?
Yeah.
So it's all the same stuff, the same like theories.
One of the biggest psych outs I talk about to streamers about, and not just marble streamers, everybody, is they'll talk about how they've got 100 to 200 people in their stream with them. You know, as far as their viewer count is concerned, this is another distraction this eliminates, is why I'm making this point. And it stops you from asking the question continuously, I've got 200 people. Why isn't anybody talking?
Right.
Why isn't anybody chatting with me? It's like, that's another one that, you know, it just depends. Like conversations will naturally roller coaster. They'll do this. So, you know, if you're at a valley at that moment, that's not the time to be panicking. That's just the time to be thinking a little bit, okay, what's the next topic of conversation we're going to get into? What are we going to talk about? You know, and that's just it. But it's to your point, Mike. It's like it encourages you, having the numbers off encourages you to continuously be like talking, like you really enjoy, you're in the moment, you're more in the moment, you're really enjoying what's going on, you're enjoying the interaction, you're looking at marble counts, that's like the closest indicator you have, and it gives you sometimes even a better idea of who's actually there with you. And
right.
Yeah.
Spooo, you got something? Looks like you're deep in
I
thought.
mean, I don't know if we want to get into any of this stuff some people are saying. Sorry, I wasn't even listening to you guys. I'm just like focused on this. Llama King says, why change something that ain't broken? I mean, this is, I guess, a more of a question towards you, Pixel, since you're the one making the changes officially.
I don't really live by that logic of why change something when it's not broken, because that creates stagnation. Because you could apply that logic to anything. What do you consider not broken? Right? Like, to me, if people are no longer excited about the system, that considers it broken. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it is kind of broken because it's not hyping things up anymore. And it's not changing things up and keeping it fresh. So that's what I believe in, continuing to change everything. And I'll continue to do so. And it's something that I constantly talk about, is like, if you're getting involved in marbles, be prepared, because I changed things. I left turn on random stuff. I rip things out that don't belong, but you guys like them. Like, I just change things on the fly. So it's really important, if you're getting involved in marbles, be prepared for this.
Yeah,
I do
lots of changes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing this for, well, almost 18 seasons now, and I've changed the energy system multiple times. We never used to have an energy system. The energy system shifted. It's changed like countless times. And not only that, but like the track system, I've changed the track builder on the track builders and forced them to rebuild amazing creations that they did. But that's because, in my opinion, it was for the greater good. It was to continue evolving the platform. If we go, oh, well, the track builder is good and it's not broken, so we'll just stay hands off and we'll just leave it the way it is, I believe that'll lead the game into the direction that a lot of games fall in, and that's stagnation, because it's fear of change. It's fear of shifting things around because you might lose some customers or you might whatever, right? It's all about numbers. But for me, it's about keeping things fresh for you guys, because guess what? You guys provide the experience for viewers. And so if you guys who play it full time as streamers can't stay excited about it, that means there's a problem. And that means the viewers won't be into it, right? Because if the streamers aren't into it, the viewers aren't into it. So that's why I continue
and
to
something
chase
you were
that.
saying, sorry, something you were saying the other day is like, just, wow, no, I lost it because I was worried about talking over you.
Something I was
yeah,
saying.
I lost it. Yeah,
You got nothing?
I got nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. I would argue that, you know, I don't know if I would say the current energy system, the one we have right now, was broken, but it was definitely in need of improvement. It was definitely in need of improvement, because you know, and there were a lot of streamers speaking out to it that, you know, the fact that to get to that next tier meant you were running another 20 races, that gets rough. That gets really, really rough. But it's a lot easier, especially within the first 100 races, if that's the system we actually totally end up going with, where it's only 4 race tiers for the first, you know, at the beginning it's only 2. And then by the time you get past 20, then it's only 4. That's not asking too much.
Yeah.
And it's going to prevent a lot of confusion for the grinders too, again, because you're going to be able to say, all right, guys, these are my last 4, and nobody will get screwed up on their energy at that point.
You could also see it as like trying to keep people on their toes, right?
Right.
So they don't just fall into the same, like you're trying, I know you're trying to make it more of a like skill gap type of thing where you have to pay attention to what you're doing and it's more of a game instead of just dropping balls, basically. So you're trying to put more skill behind it with what you're doing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Gamify it a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep,
It's something that I
exactly.
learned just by doing, like we did pachinko, right? Like watching pachinko kind of evolve. I just find it to be a more fun experience when things are a little bit more challenging and there's a little bit more of like a risk reward applied to the system, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause as a racer, you'll be more incentivized to be like, okay, should I, you know, like, do I need to watch out for this one? You know, just you start planning out your tiers a little bit deeper than what you do now. And there's no way to just farm up and get all that energy back and go way above or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think people are worried about smaller, like the grinders not going around to as many streams, I guess, because of
Right.
all this. And I don't think that should be a worry, because 20 energy, you can be in 10 streams at once to start off with, and that's for 20 races, however long 20 races is, and the streamer's in control of how fast you do the races. So I mean, are you going to crank through 20 races in, you know, however long, 30 minutes, an hour,
Mhm.
and then lose all your viewers that are basically done with that energy return? Or are you going to, like, you know, give it some time, build up some racers, talk to some people for a minute or two, and then start the timer, things like that. And then even after that, you still have a chance to, so the 4 tier. So what's that? 5? You can be in 5 streams at once at that point.
Yeah.
I think the more people are, the longer you're going and building tiers up, the more viewership you could see, because of the fact that it's tearing down people's amount of streams they can be in, and then that's like fitting with the Twitch system of actually seeing a viewer.
Mhm.
Yeah. I like this like concern / complaint is like common whenever we change up the system for viewers.
Right.
That's the first thing everybody's always concerned about. And I think it's a dangerous concern. It's like worrying about your viewer count. It's you
Yeah.
start leaning into you start making decisions that are very, very detrimental to your streaming career if that's something you're chasing. And if you're worried about those things, it tells me you're kind of, you want, like, that's your goal, is to grow your stream, right? So
Mhm.
I just think it's not a strong argument to go to worry about that. You're putting your mind into a place that it just doesn't need to be.
Well, and it's
Because
so true. Like, literally, somebody says, or multiple people say every single season, like, this is going to hurt small streamers. This is going to hurt small streamers. Like, I see it every single season.
every time. And it's just like,
What is really hurting small streamers?
what is really thinking you're small is
Right.
first of all the
Yeah.
problem, right? Because that means you're
Mhm.
going to permanently put your mind in that state.
I was gonna say I'm biting my tongue right now, because if I start going down the road of like focus and all that, we're gonna be at this for about like 2 hours. It's just it really again, you got to focus on it's well, less about numbers than I think everybody really realizes, because and the reason I say that is because this is such a people business. I'm going to do the TLDR version here. It's such a people business. It really is. And I've really learned, and I think this comes with time. I think this comes with experience as well. But I've really learned that what the number shows is not an indication of how strong your community is. and what's actually going on there. I've seen it play out time and time and time and time again. And even when like we've there's so many subjects we've talked about with this, you know, like the way people support in this community and how things are handled, and you know, it's not about numbers when it really comes down to it. It's about how you're interacting with your community, how you're staying attached to them, the things that you're doing to grow yourself, things of that nature. And I want to say this again. We've brought this point up so many times, but please, everybody, please, fellow streamers, do not rely on the game to do the work for you. The game is a catalyst. The game is a tool. It is something that the community builds around, and Marbles provides tremendous opportunities for streamers actually to get involved and grow and be chatty and connect, because it doesn't demand as much of your time as some other games do. And you really want to make sure that you're paying attention to what's important, and what's important are the people that are going to be there with you. But don't rely on the game to do the heavy lifting. You have to do the heavy lifting. If you treat the game like a sandbox, once again, I'm quoting Spooo here. If you treat the game like a sandbox and build something substantial, something meaningful, something heartfelt on top of it, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. No matter what changes to any energy systems or anything like that happens, you're going to be good to go.
And
But
don't lose what's
the important stuff.
Don't lose. Yeah, I was just going to say, don't lose what's important to you, and understand that the journey takes so much time. It takes so much time. Like and experience. Like the longer you go, the more you'll experience, the more you'll learn. And if you just focus on what's important to you, you know, it should work out.
Mm-hmm.
Great words, guys. But yeah, like you just gotta, like, once you think in the way that like we're thinking, and be like, okay, they're not trying to ruin my stream. That's like the first thing you got to think about. Then it's just about, okay, how do I adjust to the current system? If you start thinking about how you adjust right away, because you're not going to change my mind. Like, you're not going to change my intents and like what I'm trying to do. You can obviously, you're welcome to put your suggestions and feedback in our Discord. I always read everything, but it's just, I'm not going to pivot on the fly and be like, oh no, somebody's worried about their viewership, I'm going to change everything just for that person. It's just not something I'm going to do. I used to do that, and it doesn't lead down the right path. So once you understand that, you can go, okay, Pixel's going to change it. He's crazy. That guy's psycho. I don't know what he does, but he's doing it. So now, okay, this is what's happening. This is the change that's coming. How do I adapt and overcome if I want to live in this system? And it's totally fair to be like, you know what? This system, this season of Marvel sounds totally stupid, and I don't want to play it. And I would respect you for that opinion, and that's cool. Like,
I do that like every other season.
Exactly. We all go through our own rotations. You can't play marbles every single day, 24/7, nonstop, for the rest of your life. Like, you need to break things up and, you know, see different ideas, just so you can bring new ideas to your stream and your ecosystem.
Right.
And just know that if you don't like it, you're welcome to say so in Discord and be like, I don't like this system, and respect, and I'll read it and be like, okay, there's people that don't like the system, and I'll probably start thinking about what the next system's going to be. But I don't panic, and I don't freak out during a season or anything, and I don't go, oh my god, we need to change it, or oh my god, like something's bad's going to happen. It's just, we're just going to go through it and go through it together. And that's one thing you need to remember. We're going through this together. Like, we're going through it as developers, the guys are going through it as streamers and community managers, the whole team's going through it, and we'll be like, okay, this isn't a good one. This was a bad implementation. Continue to evolve and keep it going.
Yeah.
So Agent posted a good historical of like the energy system. So there was like unlimited, then there was a tab limit, which actually it wasn't a tab limit. It was just a drop limit. So like you were able to put in, and it would get you into the red or orange. It was like really weird. Then there was like, the 1920
I kind of liked it.
There was the 1920 system from June 2019 till December 2019, and then Energy version 2.1 for season 14, and then 2.2 was season 15 to 17, and now 2.3 season 18. So like you can see the history of like what we do, and just be like, okay, this guy's crazy. He's always changing things up. So just understand that, and we'll just continue evolving and trying to bring the best experience for everybody.
Yeah, there's a massive advantage to no matter how you're involved, there's a massive advantage to being involved with a game that constantly evolves. That's constantly under development, under active development. Because how many games do you, whether you're streaming it or not, like how many games do you play? And sooner or later, it wears thin. It gets stale if it's not being like really worked on,
Right.
really advanced and really pushed forward. And that's what goes on with marbles.
I feel like there's a lot of different types of games, right? There's the games that just come out and they don't get worked on. It's like, this is the game, here you go, play it. And then there's games that like might get worked on once a month. And then there's games, it's just, there's all sorts of different levels of what games do. Like, I guess marbles is comparable to Fortnite in the sense of, they switch it up like all the time. Every couple months, it's like, boom, here's another change within the game. And a lot of people get mad at it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something important to think about of what type of dev you are, and like you said, look at the past history and how things have been, and you'll know.
Yeah.
One thing,
but you're never trying to screw people.
Right.
You're just trying to better the game and keep it fresh and have fun.
Yeah.
Be involved.
How dare you compare marbles to Fortnite? I know it's a crazy comparison. Like Spoo's kind of right. Like, I mean, we watched Fortnite evolve over the past 2 years as well, right? And how like it just constantly changed, and we've seen people rage at it. I quit it even, and but it's still a game. It's still relevant in the space. So they're obviously doing some sort of good job keeping people involved and keeping streamers able to build content around it. And that's our goal too, is like to allow you guys fresh content to constantly be developed around the game. And that's why I try to put so much into the map builder, because that's like, I feel like that's, what do you call it? Exponential growth on content. Whereas like if I make a track, that's like just a single use, this is the track, here you go. Whereas like if I put something in the track builder, if I put one thing in the track builder, if 50 different people interact with that one thing, we might see it implemented in, 25 different ways. And I think that's the beauty of this community, and that's the beauty of this game, is that now we can like, if I can make that track builder even better, that's like where the goal is that it's just unlimited scalable content for everybody. Track builders, the streamers who play it, the racers who enjoy the race, like just that whole thing, it's all fresh. And like, what was the new stuff that just came out, the way that they're symmetrical and like the shapes that are coming out now, like over the past like week or two in the map builder? You guys seen those maps?
The ones
where it's like
they're taking
it's like a trippy thing.
And...
Yeah, and they're just like multiplying it around, and it looks like just creates this massive illusion. Like that technically was possible over the past year, but it just started happening now. So like, what else is possible? What else are we gonna see? And as we continue adding stuff into it, like the limits, like it's endless. And that's so exciting. And that's what I want to continue creating with this game, and more games that we start developing, is like keep that idea of like keeping things fresh, keep it dynamic so that people can engage with it, build off of it, and build communities around it.
Right. Heck yeah, sandbox it. Can make anything out of sand.
Anything out of sand? Are you sure?
Anything out of sand. Anything.
You can sit in a sandbox and create endlessly.
The tournament in Pachinko was a good idea, because if there's no tournament going on, you can do Pachinko. It's true. It's true, Tandoori Beef. I thought it was a question, but it was a statement. Do you have any more questions about Season 18 and the energy system we were just talking about? Any more concerns? Like, we're happy to talk about it. Just want to make sure we address everything. Hey,
how many people are going to 156 on the first day? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over top.
That was hard to process.
You
so you guys were like,
well.
I just said how many people are going to 156 on the first day.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Not me.
they want to burn through all their bonus races, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Wednesday, I mean, you know, I don't know what everybody else's plans are for Wednesday, but mine, I mean, I'm going to do my usual early start. I'll start at 10 a.m. and just hang with everybody until the new game launches, and then we'll start goofing around and having fun with that for a while. So I love season launch day. I really do. I mean, I love getting in there early. I start the stream way earlier than normal, and I get in there and we all just get to hang out and we talk for a bit. I really appreciate, again, that little bit of time that I get to talk with the grinders a little bit more too, you know, because they're still in relaxed mode at that point. They're getting ready, but they're still in relaxed mode. So I get a chance to talk with more of them. I get to see everybody and talk with everybody. And yeah, it's those days are a lot of fun. And then when you hit the season launch, everybody's all excited for season launch, and we're showing off like some of the new, you know, modifiers and the new skins and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's always a good time. It's always a good time.
Yeah, mostly when there's changes to a new season. I like watching people try to absorb it and figure it out and figure out how they're going to be playing within it. And then you'll obviously like see all the changes in ranks really quick, right? Everybody's fluctuating really fast for the first couple hours.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, we got lots of events. Obviously, tournament kits sold out. Lots of events coming up. Lots of side events as well. Hopefully, we'll see the return of Tilted events as well. Tilted tournaments. With the new layout of Tilted, hopefully we'll get out. Then that'll layer into the tournaments.
That's looking like it's gonna get out before.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to crank it out this weekend.
Launch?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I have like everything ready. It's just I need to put it together. It's like a brand new design, basically. Looks slick.
I saw.
And Ton, to answer your question, the new season should launch. We always shoot for 12 noon
Eastern.
That Wednesday Eastern. So your time, you're looking at somewhere between, I don't know if there's 2 time zones in the UK or 1, but between 5 and 6. About 5 hours later, your time. So about between 5 and 6 p.m.
Hell yeah.
Yep, and the season is on Sunday, and then the season 18 Wednesday. That's the normal trajectory, right?
The grind is tough. You lost today? It is. Like, it's crazy watching you guys just, like, go. It's, like, it's really impressive. And then when you're, like, being interactive in certain streams as well and watching you guys interact with the streamers while trying to maintain all that. And then some of you guys are also jumping into pachinko. Like, that's just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. A lot of mind power.
It is. I still can't watch more than one stream at a time. Like when we're doing Marble Team and all that, I have to move, like I have to say goodbye in one and then move to the next one. I cannot run multiple tabs. I've never been able to do that. So, and I'm only bringing that up because a lot of love and respect to you guys that can run 10 tabs and actually speak to us when we call out to you. That has always impressed me.
Yeah.
That has always impressed me.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 tabs is like where I push things. It's like you start trying to process everything. Because I always try to keep things unmuted.
Right.
At least a little bit.
Yeah, three is a good number. Well, 2 or 3 at this point.
But yeah, like Tilted plays a big factor, and I see, like, I know why people are concerned about it and why there's so much talk about it, right? Because like there's no energy system built into Tilted. So it probably feels, or at least is, a place where you almost have to participate to continue the grind, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the major concern with Tilted.
Yeah.
Is that it's like a forced thing to be in if you want to grind the system.
Yeah.
That's challenging. But the biggest thing is like I never wanted to build it into energy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Spoon?
I think, well, and that's why you see a lot of people who are tilting with, like, if you're looking at the viewer count, that, like Profanity said earlier, she has 40 balls on the track and 8. It's because, and I think for the majority of people, they like watching races more than they like watching tilted, and that just, I think you're right with they feel forced to do it, so they just kind of throw it up and they drop a ball in every so often, and they're not really watching a lot of the time. But I'm not 100% on that. That's just my assumption. Maybe they're just like anything else. Maybe some people can do this. They can focus on multiple streams at one time. So
Right.
And Profanity, yeah, that's a great point. It's one of the reasons why I personally don't tilt, because speaking of only being able to pay attention to one thing at a time, I mean, I'll be honest, I suck at tilting anyway. I really do. Which was actually part of the entertainment of it, was just the fact that I'd kill, like, 75% of the field the first 5 seconds I was into it. But beyond that, yeah, if you're, it's actually one of the beauties of marbles too, though, is that there's something in there for everybody. So if you are one of those streamers that can engage something like tilted and still really be able to maintain that conversation with your community, that's fine. I would never, I couldn't do it. The few times that I did tilted, it was one of the things that bothered me, was I could actually feel the disconnect, right? Because I wasn't interacting directly with my chat anymore. I wanted to go right back to running races, because I can commentate them, I can shoutcast them, I can do whatever I want to do, but still have the time to be able to interact with the chat.
Well, and that's something to think about too, because, like, I'm trying to get better at tilting and making it exciting and fun and interactive for everybody there, because you don't see that a lot. You just see people just doing it, basically.
Yeah.
So I always try to make it as fun as possible, and maybe do little things to piss the people off, or to make them excited, or whatever.
Right.
just to keep it fun and fresh.
Yeah, you're trying to, like, layer with it a little bit the way that you layered with racing back in the day, right?
Right. And since I'm somewhat skilled at it until the later levels anyway, like, I'm fine tilting and looking at chat now,
Right.
and just like, oops, I spilled some balls, but I was reading chat, just like having fun with it, whatever.
I almost attest that to, like, the way that larger streamers, when they're doing, like, FPS games, like, when they're really good at FPS games, they're just, like, going, and they're able to, like, interact with chat and stuff, because they're just so good at the game. It's like second nature, right? So you're just reading chat. So yeah, like, I think Tilted has that competitive side where it's controlled, right? And that's what I like about it, is that it's up to the streamer to become good at it. It's not just a plug and play adventure, right? You got to kind of get good at the strategies and getting through the levels.
Or figure out ways to make it engaging somehow. It's like Shen's does something
Tilt Your Own Adventure.
Yeah, Tilt Your Own Adventure. So he, like, he's already thought about it, and he's been doing that for a while. And I think he understood that tilted isn't super engaging, so he started making it more engaging.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a great example of that. He's really worked to master it besides. So he's done, but that goes back to the sandbox theory, that there's my sandbox. Now, what am I going to build on top of it to make me stand out from the person next to me? It's very entertaining to watch. Very entertaining to watch.
And then you got, like, Dark Madden, who took the lead on the leaderboard, right?
Yeah,
which was crazy
for the first time.
Yeah, and that was, like, just pure skill on Tilted, and I think that's really cool to see. So yeah, I think designing Tilted in a way that is beneficial in the later levels to everybody, I think would be really cool. Whereas, like, the early levels are not so much the focus, and then just making the things progress a little bit faster, I think would be a positive. That's kind of like where I'm leaning with Tilted. We just got to get it done, got to get the work done. And then obviously making it look a little bit more competitive is kind of like what I'm going for. I think Tilted will take a good shape. Go ahead.
Well, Bubble Bab says I only tried the first level and quit. Like, Tilted takes a while to get. I mean, for me anyway. But everybody plays at their own pace. I only like 1 or 2 tilted games a day, maybe at
Right.
that. And it took me a while to get to a point where like, okay, I'm decent at this difficulty, and then I would die on the next difficulty a bunch for weeks, and then I would get to the next one. It just takes time to get used to it, basically. And that's the same with races too, and getting used to the camera controls. At this point, if I know the level that I'm at, I can like basically do it blindfolded. Like I can be looking at chat and controlling the camera, knowing where I'm going, and just like basically glance over if I need to see where
Right.
I'm at.
Just to reposition
Yeah,
yourself on the rails.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's
go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's a skill game, and like any skill game, it takes practice. And the more you work with it, like I'll be honest, I hated Tilted the first time I played it. I was like, and I couldn't get excited. I tried. I'm like, this is nuts. I can't do anything with it. And then the more I played it, and granted, I'm sitting over here going, yay, I reached level 15. When people are getting like up into the 30s and all that, but it's still like.
I mean, I wasn't crazy about it at first either, so I understand that.
Yeah,
but I think that's just like an example of what marbles is in general. Like sometimes you first see marbles and you're like, this, what is it? Like so many people are like, what is this? You're just rolling marbles, like what the heck? And then you start diving in and learning more, and it's like, oh crap, well, I like this aspect of it. I might not like this, but I like that. Oh, and I like this. I don't like that, but I like this. And it's just like, it just keeps going.
Yeah, it's human nature. Give it time to let it be fun for you. Really don't just it's, and I'm not saying anybody's doing this, but don't just play one round of it and go, oh, I don't like this. Give it a little bit of time, because I admit I even simulate it offline from time to time and just goof around with it if I need to unwind for a few minutes or something like that. It's actually relatively peaceful, but again, it's just a matter of giving yourself that opportunity to get used to it. Nobody's good at anything first try. So,
Right.
And that can tie perfectly into doing events as a streamer, and like working on doing Grand Prix or local leaderboards or anything. Just like the more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it. It's like practicing anything.
Yeah. Often when people get into Tilted, I always see that it's always there's two things. It's either they think it's a race because they've played races before, and so like they're trying to like guide the marbles and be like, oh, you got first, and then they realize there's no like position structure, and it's like, whoa, what is this, right?
It's just one or the other, live or die.
Or they just don't know anything, and it's like really frustrating for them to try and control it, right? Because the camera doesn't do what other games do.
Yeah.
A little bit different.
Yeah,
definitely.
And Vixen, to that point, yeah, it that's one of the things that develops when these rivalries, the friendly rivalries, develop. It's like, oh, look who just took out the master kind of thing, and it makes it fun. It makes it engaging, and it makes it entertaining.
For sure. I mean, everybody loves competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so good when the community can rally behind it.
You got to keep it professional and friendly,
Yeah. Yep.
Good morning. I wonder if the pachinko mode will be fixed or will appear from time to time. What? I'm not sure what you mean, Blastoise. Is it broken?
So wait. Dark Madden's still on the top, right? Of the tilted?
Yeah, I believe 63.
But Shen's has a 63?
What is it?
What?
Whoa,
Dark Madden, what is it?
I was out of the loop on that too.
What is it?
It was 60 was last I saw it.
Or was it 60?
63?
Okay.
Wait,
no,
is it 60? It's 60. Okay, I went crazy. I thought you were 63 for some reason.
This will be
dude.
Oh, is there wait, there's a 3-point gap between you guys, right?
I think
Shen's is 57?
So
Maybe
if like Dark Madden holds on to it till the end of season, like it'll be the first time Shen's is ever not in first on that tilted leaderboard.
Yeah, Shen's is trying. It's crazy.
I get the feeling Shen's is gonna fight for that one with his last breath all the way up until the end of the season.
He's gonna try.
He's gonna
when he has the time.
Let that set. He's not gonna let that set.
Yeah, I was there yesterday. He was
awesome,
trying
though.
to beat it, and then I think one of
Well, I
the
mean, it's
30s got him, or 40s.
Tierra said about time someone kicked his butt. It's like I feel like that's like with anything, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have reigns of people who are just dominating, and it's like, and then somebody comes along and they're like, wait, I could do that.
Yeah.
And then they try, and then the competition begins. It's great. It's great to see.
And then
Yeah.
shakes things up, and then gets other people motivated, right?
Yeah. And then yeah, other people see that competition. They're like, yeah, human nature. I want to do that. I want to be the best.
And Dark Madden, by the way, even at 60, I just want to say.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think the last time I tilted, I was like, I made it to like 23 or something really low. It was like, wow, I'm so bad at this. I'm like,
Let's make it harder.
tilted, boomer tilted boomer.
My top tilt's still only 15. That's still my personal best. It's just 15. So
What the heck?
The heck, guys. I got a new personal best this season, 38.
38, wow.
I'm gonna beat those golden browns one of these days.
No, you won't.
Oh yeah, you're right. They'll haunt me in my nightmares.
yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, head snaps here. Head snaps just demolishing the main leaderboard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. 15, do you even tilt, Jamie? Tierra? No. Actually.
Is there any we're coming up to the end here, guys. Is there any questions we can address going into the end of the season? Anything that's coming up that like you're wondering how things work? Is there anything that you're in the dark about that we can just shed some light on just before we head over to Community Day at noon? If you guys don't know, we do Community Day at noon. Standard Damage starts it at his channel, and then it moves into Spooo at 4
The last
p.m.
Community Day of the season.
Last one of
Community
the
Day.
season.
Fresh
Yes.
exclusives next season and fresh dev balls.
Fresh everything. It's going to be a
Fresh
hot
everything.
season. Yeah.
Heck.
Version
That's crazy.
7, right? Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
I'm very excited for those new dev marbles. I really am. The colors.
Yeah,
Really
they
cool.
Mhm.
Really cool.
Tom did a really good job with them.
They're gonna look amazing on dance floors.
Yeah. And then like the cubes in the map builder, you'll be able to color with dev balls now, like with all the dev skins.
What?
Yeah,
That's
and you
awesome.
can pick the color, so like it doesn't have to be random anymore. So like you
That's
might go into
crazy.
sections of maps that are fully colored and themed a certain way.
Dang.
Really?
Yeah. The the boosts that flow, like the things that fly through the air,
Yeah.
those are able to be colored now too. So like everything can be really themed color wise. So I'm really excited to see what the community comes up with next season.
Dang.
Oh man.
The last thing I didn't completely understand with the new return system is the max races still same. I understand 20 per day and no more farming. What? No, that's not the thing at all. You can still do 156
The
races.
rumors have begun.
Yeah. Don't extract random pieces of information and spin it into some fakeness. No, like it's 156 races. The only difference is the tiers are tighter. So it's 2s, 4s, and 8s instead of 5s, 10s, 15s, 35s.
Yeah.
Don't spin,
Honestly,
guys.
I feel like when you get to the 4 race tiers, of course, this is all speculation. Like we don't know. Everyone's just going to come up with their own theories until it's actually in the air. But like when you get to the 4 races, it's going to be so good.
I think
Like when
so.
people are in their 4 races, it's like, oh man, now I only have to hang out in 4 or 5 streams now, and like I can chill out with my buds. Of course, but then you got to add on the tilted streams as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Fire Break. Thanks for hanging out.
And then I think you're gonna maybe you have a few 4s open. You're out there looking for a fresh stream to get more 2s in, but I don't see the point of that, I guess.
No, and that's actually a point we could have made earlier too. Is people worried about like growing streamers and all that not getting the support. That's really not going to be the case. As a matter of fact, racers are going to be able to hang with you a whole lot longer now than they used to. You know, a lot of, this actually cures the complaint we were getting for such a long time of, well, people are only racing 20 and they're out, 20 and they're out, 20 and they're out. Well, they don't need to do that anymore.
Well,
You
and
know,
at the
'cause-
same time, 20 races is a long time.
yeah.
It can be a long
yeah.
time. Like you can get,
You can
if
get
you
4
don't
hours
rush
out of
through it and you want to like hang out with some people and, boom.
It really just comes down to like what you're like. I would ask if you're ever grinding for like the top of the leaderboard, why are you grinding for it? And just make sure you assess the impacts of making that decision. That's all.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
the only reason people would really leave your channel is because if you're getting them to a point where they want to leave, or if they gotta go. Like that's another thing. Is like a lot of people we talk about this so often, but like a lot of people go, oh well, they left at this point in their races and they hit a tier and they're out, and I lost a viewer. But if you think about it like this, you might have got somebody new who would have never hung out with you and got the opportunity to talk with somebody new and just get them involved in your community, as opposed to thinking like they're just there for the race and gone. That could be like a discoverable opportunity for you. And this is one thing I think I really need to start compiling data on. But Marbles is it's proving to be a discovery platform. We're seeing so many new people get involved, like click live for the first time and have viewers, right? And like I don't think a lot of games do that, and we just need to like start pulling the data on that and proving it and say, hey, this is what's happening to other people. Like it's true, and yeah, if it's not going to happen to everybody, that's true as well, but it gives you the opportunity to get some people out to your stream and meet some new faces because they want to hang out and roll some marbles.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, Lightbender, 100%. I've always talked about that. Like you want to, in my opinion, anyway, if you're a marble streamer, you want to understand the game, you want to teach the game, you want to understand what you need to do for your grinders, but you also want to understand what you need to do to maintain just casual viewers and casual racers that are coming around and like entertain, but also cater to the grinders a bit, but just never go one side or the other. Like there's people out there that might be okay entertainers, but then they're like evil to the grinders or like they hate grinders, and I don't understand it. And then there's the other way around. There's people who just focus on the grinders and then they don't focus on just being entertaining or personable or anything like that. So finding that balance is super important with any game, really, I think.
Right.
So,
No matter what you're streaming, marbles or anything.
I want to go back to something that Mike said once upon a time here too, and that is like people like talking about hitting live for the very first time. Something that I'm noticing, and again, this is something I'd love to have like hard data on so I could talk to it a little bit more, but the people that seem to have the most successful kicking off as a streamer spent some time, usually at least a season, really cruising around and getting to know the community, because the community likes being very supportive of its newer streamers and its growing streamers. So if you give us a chance to get to know you and get to know that you're even out there, that's a really, really, really big deal. But a point Mike made at one point was he thought the perfect strategy would be to somebody that wants to get into streaming it, take a season first, a half a season or a full season, and really get out there and race and get around to the different communities, get to know everybody and all that, and then begin the streaming journey from there, because now you've already done some basic networking. You've already kind of built a foundation for yourself, so to speak. So
yeah, that's always forget to say that.
Yeah, it seems to be, but I've noticed that people that do that and then move into streaming seem to have a much better kickoff. I hear a lot fewer complaints about I didn't have any marbles on my track or things like that.
Right.
If they actually took the time to network a little bit first.
I think it also helps teach you the verbiage and stuff in the game, right? Like if you go to a brand new stream and they're calling Steve, like you got an immediate connection with the people who know the game. Because they're like, oh, this person knows it's Steve. How do they know it's Steve?
Steve.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like where we're at, guys. I hopefully this podcast was insightful. I know we kind of poked around with a bunch of different topics. Enjoy community day with the guys. Next week is launch week. So what do we got going on this weekend? I mean, Sunday is end of season tournament with Spooo.
Mm-hmm.
and you've announced it, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And LT
LT
Digilusion.
Delusion.
Yeah, long-time Marbler. Big impact on the community.
It's gonna be like an OG end of season with me and him.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to close down the season at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then we go into off season for 2.5 days. And then Wednesday we launch. Everything's looking pretty good. We got lots of new stuff for you guys. Lots of cool things coming out. Like I said, like we're leaning into the builder a lot. I put a lot of new stuff in there. And we're looking to really elevate the community's events and everything. So if you guys are planning events, I want to use this one day. Hopefully I can get a release on it, but I got a pitch the other day, and it is the best pitch for a tournament I've received ever. It's the best business pitch I've ever seen. So
Really?
yeah, it was really good. So maybe one day I'll get permission to show it because I think it's a great learning experience for everybody.
Mhm.
But yeah, guys, I'm just saying, like, there's some people getting involved in the community that are extremely talented and have a lot of knowledge behind them, and I think we can all learn from them because
Yeah.
you know, we're all learning here. Like I'm new to business, and that's probably why, you know, like I get excited when I see really good stuff like that because it's like, whoa, like I don't see this a lot. And it just means the future's exciting because there's very talented people getting involved. And just keep trying, guys. Keep trying. Even if you reach out to us and we say no to that event, don't hesitate to try again. Just because we say no, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you go on a list and there's some negativity next to you. That doesn't happen. It really doesn't. So even if you did something in the community that's like not that big, like a big a deal, you get banned somewhere, like it's minor. That kind of stuff is minor. So just don't hold yourself. What do you? Don't be so hard on yourselves. I see that a lot. And just keep trying. There's great talented people out there. Spooo and StandardDamage are always available. I'm usually poking around the Discord, so just reach out if you have questions, even if they're weird. Just ask them. Ask them.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're weird too.
Yeah.
I actually have it in my timer now. It says every stream is a teaching stream. Like I moved past the idea. That's why I call it Happy Hump Day and not Ask Me Wednesday anymore. Is I don't want anybody to think they can't come in at any point during a stream and ask me questions. Community Day gets a little tough because we got so many people in there with us. But like really, guys, don't ever hesitate to come in and ask us questions, things like that. We will try to be as helpful as we possibly can. And if we miss a question,